Hey, Raquel, welcome to your own show. This is your show now, by the way.
Got it.
We've been talking in the green room about what we're going to talk about in your show today. The one thing we didn't talk about is what the title of the show is. It's PressConf interviews. I don't know. I don't have a title for it. You have a title for the show, the series that I'm doing, that we're doing?
Dang, that's not my forte. And I'm always going to think of some Gen Z phrase because I have
PressConf TV.
PressConf sessions.
PressConf.
I'm going to default to you.
If you haven't heard about PressConf, you've been living under a rock. Raquel and team have been working tirelessly to get this event off the ground. This that you're watching and or listening to is just a taste of what's coming to PressConf on April 23rd through the 26th this year. It's 2025 already. I can't believe it. April 23rd through the 26th. The website, again, you're probably watching this on the website, but if you're not, it's pressconf.events, pressconf.events. You get your tickets. You can see the speaker lineup. You can figure out how to get to Arizona by going to pressconf.events. Brand new logo. Good job.
Yeah. The logo itself was still giving Pressnomics a little bit, and this is not Pressnomics. This is PressConf. So we decided it needed a little bit of a refresh. And I'm a nostalgic girl, so there's a little bit of an 8-bit vibe to it. I love it, actually.
The H1 on the website, the conference for professionals driving the WordPress economy. Pressnomics was, I think, the business of WordPress. Let's just take a moment and just frame for the listeners and viewer, Pressnomics versus PressConf. There's some legacy in your formula to PressConf because it worked. It was good. But you have your own spin on it. You have your own flair on it. And everyone, guess what? This is year one. It's not even behind us yet, right? Behind the scenes, what I do to Raquel is I say, hey, guess what? Think about year 2 and 3, right? Let's just survive this thing and get this plane off the ground, because that's oh so important that it simply exists. And then we're going to make it better, okay? Then we're gonna fine tune it, but just talk about what you're carrying over from Pressnomics into PressConf, and then how you're gonna make it slightly better this year and then into the future.
Yeah, I mean, truth be told, I've said it everywhere. That was the initial plan, was to bring back Pressnomics, and that's just not happening, and that's okay. So this is the reincarnation of it. So what it still is going to carry is that it's for our business community. It's for the community that drives the economy around WordPress. And whether that means you're a freelancer or you are the CEO of a pretty large product or agency company, then you're invited. But it's for those who want to drive the economy forward, basically. And another aspect is we're still not recording sessions, and you got to be in the room where it happens. And we're continuing with that. And the differences, I would say, this year, and it being year one, is that we are allowing time and space for the state of our community and allowing that to be talked about and space to be held for that. We don't know what that exactly looks like because it is continuously changing as we speak. But we want to be available because this is an in-person event and an opportunity for all of us to be together, having FaceTime together. So we don't want to neglect that part of this.
Yeah. Obviously, the climate of WordPress has changed a touch towards the end of 2024. There's a lot of things that are challenging what we know as WordPress, the software, right? I mean, AI, the 2-letter acronym that's in everyone's press release these days, and community, right? Like, how are we balancing a new community, a new awareness? How do we continue to make WordPress thrive? And this is just my 2 cents. I think we need to have these in-person events that are the lifeblood of it is WordPress, but we're probably going to be talking about, like you were just saying, like the stuff we always talked about is the business, is how do you, adjust to a changing customer, changing expectations, market shares of WordPress, either going up or down. There's a lot of things at play, that go beyond just, how do I optimize my, easy digital downloads checkout page? Like that's what I remember from Pressnomics back in the day, because we were all just trying to figure out how to make money with WordPress. Yes. And, those were the kinds of conversations people were having. And these are now more than ever the most important time to get people in a room, regardless with whether or not you agree with one side or the other. To try to iron these things out and have discourse, dialogue in person. And, at the end of the day, I'm just glad that you're crazy enough to do this, Raquel. I'm glad it's you.
That's the best description of me that I've heard so far. Is she's the only one crazy enough to do. Mm-hmm. And I love it because it's so true. And all I can do is own it. I don't know why I'm this way, but I am. And I kind of like it. Sometimes I hate it.
There's no going back.
I like it.
There's no going back now, right? The other thing too, which again, for the folks who haven't been, and I know this sounds kind of weird, but April 23rd through the 26th, Mission Palms Resort. Mm-hmm. I don't want to put all of the emphasis on this because it might change in the future, but there's something about that venue which really helps the dialogue and the people. We talked about this on our podcast, on my podcast when we chatted about this, but there is something special about the Mission Palms, like the courtyard, the event space, the bar and restaurant area. Like it does make this event pretty darn like tight knit feeling. That might just be me because as an outsider, I'm just a tourist to the area. But what do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's two parts. There's the alum. The Pressnomics alum who have been there, and so they know. And then there's so much of our community now, which are going to be new to this. A way to give it some perspective is when we go to a flagship event like a WordCamp US or Europe, we all think like we want to try to be at the official hotel, but we all can't fit, at the official hotel. And so what happens is it gets a little segmented. But this being that everything's at the event itself, you don't have to like go from the hotel to the conference center or to a further Airbnb, although I'm sure Sun will stay there. But it really does make everything intimate and special. And so it's all right there. The hotels, the courtyard, the event space itself, it's all right there. And it's also walking distance from everything that you could possibly need. So it's just a perfect spot. I love it. I would love to continue to stay there, but who knows? Who knows for the future? But it is a great spot.
Last time I went, I remember it being like a gazillion degrees above 100. We're in April.
Wait, what?
To Phoenix on April 23rd through the 26th. What's the temperature like around that time?
I mean, it could be 70, it could be 90. It shouldn't be triple digits.
I remember it being triple digits. I remember my sneakers sticking to the ground.
Okay, but you live in Boston or close to it, so.
Correct.
No, I don't love the end of April, and apparently it conflicts with the East Coast entire spring break. I just learned. Mm-hmm. But the best time would probably be March, but during the spring, you could have, it could be 50s in March. It could also be 90s. It's just what Phoenix is. But it's dry. Do you not remember that?
Oh, there is it's a dry heat, they say. Sure, as your insides.
It feels good.
No, but it is going to still be a wonderful time because it's, we're not into that summer season and you won't be, probably like me sticking to the pavement. So wonderful venue, wonderful time to be there, and a wonderful concept, right? This PressConf is extending that legacy that we know, or at least the alum know from Pressnomics, getting us all into a room and chatting about the well, the climate, literally, and the climate of WordPress. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun time. Let's talk about some of the folks that you've round up to be speakers.
Yeah.
I'll be interviewing some of them who say yes, and you'll see them on this feed, wherever you're watching or listening to this. Make sure you subscribe, follow, and share with others, because we'll have some more interviews lined up from speakers prior to the event. But I don't want to say who's the standout speakers, but who do you have that you can share and chat about now that you're excited to hear and listen to, or maybe meet in person for the first time?
Yeah, I mean, of course, there's a lot, and I think the entire lineup I'm so proud of, and I'm ecstatic, and I feel like honored, honestly, and humbled. That's just the overall stance, how I feel about all of them. But, I'm very grateful Sally is speaking, the original originator of Pressnomics, and she's
Also my former boss at Pagely.
That's true. That's true. But she's an inspiration. And she's like the very first person we announced. So we're very honored that she's going to speak. And we're also showcasing so many in our community that have done much and contributed much. And they are very known names, and like Remkes, or we just announced today, Tammy Lister. And we do have a few automaticians too, and we're very honored there. We've got Mary Hubbard and Matthias, and we're actually super excited to hear from them. We get to see Matthias at almost every state of the word, right? But Mary is new-ish to the community, and so we're really excited to invite her, to hear from her, and to get to know her, honestly. This crowd, we've been liking to call it the for the hallway track. So if you think about a flagship event where you have the hallway track, and we take that hallway track and we're like, here we go, we're all going to be here. And now you get access to learn from some of these people that maybe you wouldn't have direct access to at a larger event. So that in itself is why I'm so happy that we get to have speakers like Mary and Matthias. Of course, we're early on, so I don't want to blow all of our other speakers yet. So Stay tuned for some really known and exciting names.
PressConf.events/speakers. You can go there to see the list of speakers at the time that you're listening or watching this. Jeremy Saxey, Kareem Maruki, also on the list as well.
Yes.
Let's just talk about the hallway track for a moment. I don't think you explain it to me on how you see the hallway track, because I think you want PressConf to be slightly different than a WordCamp. I think for those of us who've been in WordPress for so long, 20 years, we go to these WordCamps, and, unfortunately we don't go to the presentations because, we've, I don't want to say we've seen and done it all, but we're there because we want to see our friends largely. So we spend a lot of time in the hallway, air quotes. Explain to me your take on the hallway track and what it means to you at PressConf.
Yeah, I'm definitely guilty, if that's the right term to use here, of being an avid member of the hallway track. But I'm also a WordCamp organizer, and I know the importance of allowing a WordCamp speaker their first opportunity at speaking. And that is not necessarily for everybody. And when you attend a WordCamp, you have to be strategic with your time. And so a lot of the times, those who are the people who drive the economy around WordPress are using the time at a WordCamp to have meetings and to see your friends as well. But really, a lot of it is we're hanging out in the hallway track. So PressConf is solving, that's not a right word. PressConf is allowing the opportunity for the hallway track to learn and grow together. So I'm definitely going to be a little sassy and telling everybody to get your butts in the room, in the ballroom, and including those that are going to be stationed at booths. Like, you will get the opportunity to go into the ballroom and learn. But really, this is for you. These talks will benefit you if you see yourself as a hallway track member. So that's really my take on it, is solving that, or giving you this desire that you can't miss it. That you have to go in and see the session for yourself.
Without it being set in stone, the itinerary for the day, a couple talks and then a little break and then a few more talks and then a lunch. How do you see it all breaking down throughout the day? Again, depending on when you're listening, things might change and alter a little bit.
Yeah.
But how do you perceive it?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's been a little bit of a thorn in my side these days because it's moving and changing so much. And we thought we had the schedule set and we're like, oh, no, we're changing it up. But in some sense, it's going to be similar to what we're used to, opening remarks, have a session or two, have a little break, have lunch. But we are being very flexible. That's a really good way to put it this time around, because of the ever-changing WordPress world we're in right now. And we're just allowing for flexibility and space to be held at the event as we move. So it's an ever-changing, living, breathing schedule right now. So what we have on the site expected to change, and not drastically, but in even like the sessions that I thought I was going to have, they're changing. And definitely for the better, I believe. And I think the attendees will agree.
Yeah. There's the general admission and the VIP all access. I think one of the more unique things as well, and this is something that you're carrying over, I think, which was something that was really important to Sally and Paisley and Josh when they were running Pressnomics, is the retreat day on April 26th. This is very unique, right? Because you go to a WordCamp, you just figure out what you want to do, like with your friends and colleagues. There's the after party and stuff like that. But retreat day is, I know golf is an option. And is there something else? Like, what else do we have going on? Or can you not release it yet? Let's just talk about the uniqueness of a retreat day.
Sure. I mean, the retreat day is strategic, letting your hair down, letting loose together. So yes, a lot of times that happens. We're at a flagship event and we're all like at WordCamp US in Portland. A lot of us were at the farmers market on that Saturday, and that's great, but it's very organic. And a lot of times you end up missing out on maybe people who are new to the community that bring value, and we just haven't met them yet. I fall into that because I've made so many friends in our community and I want to use that time to spend with them. So the retreat day is actually allowing everyone to come together and either golf, for all you golfers. I'm laughing so hard at that because I live in one of the golf capitals of the world and I do not golf. But we're going to have golf, don't you worry. And then some other fun event, which we are still working on. There's some rumors, could be like legit go-karts. It could be some like hiking. We have really good hiking. But we also are taking into consideration accessibility and ability. So there's going to be something for everybody, wherever we land. And it is an optional day, but I highly recommend it. It's that day to let your hair down. It's that day to allow everything that happened over the whole 2 days prior to sit, to talk it out with somebody, and to do so while your brain is being creative. So it's just such a good day.
I think it's important to, it also highlights that this is a stamp on PressConf that, based on everything you've said about, like, I want people in a session. It's just one session. It's not recorded. I keep saying we, but it's you. You want people to be connected. This is something that is very unique, right? If you're expecting this to be a WordCamp, it ain't it. If you're expecting it to be CloudFest, it ain't it, right? You have one where there's thousands of people and big brands and technology. You have another one that's $50 to get in, and you're just like, hey, whatever happens. It's just cool. I get to hang out with people. This is very focused on you want the business people, the people who care about the WordPress economy, even though the spotlight not be 100% on what WordPress is doing, but you care about those people getting together and connecting. Yes. At Mission Palms, in the stage area, and in this retreat day if you have the VIP all access pass. This is a unique event. It's not just another one. You can't get it at any other event. This is PressConf. So thank you, Raquel, for putting this event together.
You're so very welcome. I honestly believe it's my calling, and I'm just responding to it. And there's often talk about AI and how it's changing our future, and where do we as humans land in this future. And I know my place, and that place is bringing people together, human interaction in person, and I'm just responding to that. So
PressConf.events, PressConf.events, April 23rd through the 26th. Stay tuned to wherever you're listening or watching this, because I'll have some interviews with some of the speakers and maybe another guest appearance by Raquel. And we'll just end it on this as well. This PressConf is just going to be one of many things that you do, right? Like,
yes.
You don't have to put all the cards on the table now, but you're going to be doing PressConf. You're going to be doing other events. If, there's people out there in the universe who are like, hey, Raquel, maybe you can kind of do this for my thing too.
Uh-huh.
You're probably
Absolutely.
open to have those conversations.
Hit me up. Definitely.
To HMU, that is what the kids say. I don't know. I'm getting
I
old.
stopped myself from saying that.
PressConf.events. Everybody, thanks for hanging out today, watching this one. Don't forget, stick around. You'll see more from our featured speaker lineup. PressConf.events, April 23rd through the 26th. We'll see you there.